I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. I was welcomed by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, future Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, boys, and, well, honestly, not a whole lot, but we got a fair bit. We got RIZIN 45 to go over. We got some fan questions, over the week. Also have a fair bit of news. As always, we were brought to you by two fantastic sponsors of the show, Rogue Energy and ELYXR. Rogue Energy keep me fueled up wherever I am, getting me to the finish line, keeping me up so I can see the ball drop on New Year's, and then ELYXR, the exact opposite, man. Really get me chilled out with their Delta 8 products. Code Soundoff for both of those websites for 10% off. Yeah, man, I mentioned New Year's. Not a whole lot really happened. Obviously, RIZIN had their event, RIZIN 45, going down on Saturday night, going into the wee hours of the morning for us here in the States, man. Look, I mean, it was a pretty solid card. In the main event, Koichi Horiguchi defeating Makamoto Takahashi to win the inaugural RIZIN flyweight title. Kai Asakura scoring a knockout win over Juan Archuleta in the co-main for the RIZIN bantamweight title. Archuleta missed weight, so only Asakura was eligible to win it. And actually going into that fight, we were wondering if it was even going to happen. I went into fight night, excuse me. Look, man, it was a pretty fun card. Give me your thoughts on it. What'd you make of RIZIN 45?
I had fun. Obviously, it wasn't a odd time for us in the States, like you said. For me, no trouble because I do work overnight, so being awake at those hours was just like a regular work shift for me personally. So it actually wasn't that bad of an experience for me. It was actually very pleasant. Mm-hmm. But overall, I had fun. I felt like pacing could have been better at times. I felt like interviews were a little too long, but and the card probably could have been done a little quicker and kind of flowed a little bit better. I felt like, but they did get the fights going a little bit there. They did kind of flow pretty well, but. Regardless, obviously it did have issues, but I had fun overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way I feel. And, I'm not complaining too much about the timing. I mean, I was up, I was playing Baldur's Gate basically this entire break. So, no MMA, no boxing. I was already up late playing anyway. So, yeah, I watched the card, pretty much all of it in real time. I mean, I missed a couple hours there, but, it is what it is. I mean, it was a fun card. Like you said, the pacing was a little bit off, but still, man, it was nice to see the return of a lot of guys. In terms of the fights coming out of it, which fights do you most want to discuss? Which fights were you most impressed by?
I mean, look, the main event, co-main event, great title fights. You always know those guys are going to give it their all. I'm sure we'll bounce back to them in a bit. But, Josh, the heavyweights, these guys were so fun to watch. I'm going to have probably some trouble pronouncing these names, but Mikio Ueda versus Tuyushio Sudario. I think that's actually some pretty decent job out of me. Wow, what a contrast of styles. Both guys were really fun. Ueda, dude, the guy who ended up winning the fight. Mm-hmm. Dude, what a fun style. Like, for that kind of body type and the way he fought. I mean, I don't want to say he was licked, but he was like heavyweight Wonder Boy kind of, right?
I could see it. I could see your point. Yeah.
I mean, his single foot balance for being that big was actually insane. His athleticism was very impressive. He got that shit up there, man. And I mean, he ended up finishing the fight with was it a head kick he got to drop and followed up by ground and pound?
I think so. But yeah, I mean, I see it.
Yeah. He got him with a knee.
Excuse me, yeah. Yeah. Dude, he was very light on his feet. I'm happy you highlighted him. Very impressive win by him. And also like a guy that I did not hear anything about heading into the card. You know what I mean? And still very young in his MMA career, so I'm happy you highlighted him. I gotta go ahead and shout out, the super atomweight fight between Sika Aizawa and the 49-year-old Miyu Yamamoto, who, started MMA, already I don't want to say in her 40s, but in her late 30s, fought for the RIZIN title, And, dude, probably the least 49-year-old looking 49-year-old I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not sure if you saw that fight.
I did, Josh. But Asians just age differently, dude.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, ridiculous though. Ridiculous. And shout out Sika Izawa. I'm surprised that she is not I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Fights in Japan, but I'm surprised she's not a bigger star, man. I mean, she's pretty fucking entertaining. Very good on the mat. Yeah.
I mean, she's an atomweight. I mean, that will always, sadly, no other major promotion or no major promotion in the States or even one. I mean, I guess one has it, but they don't have they don't have all the probably stars they could possibly have or built them up. In general, atomweight just hasn't gotten a lot of love, which is sad because there is a lot of great atomweight fighters out there, and there's a lot of ladies who I think would do a great job at atomweight rather than fighting at flyweight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not wrong. Still though, very impressed by her win. A big one. 12-0, undefeated. Got some big names on the resume. Excited to see what she does next. Yeah, man. I mean, it sucked to see our boy John Dodson take a loss. It is what it is. I believe that was only his second loss since leaving the UFC way back in 2020. So that sucked to see. But shit, dude, he'll be back. He fits the Japan aesthetic very well, in my opinion. Yeah, man. And as far as the rest of the card, man, it sucked to see Juan Archuleta lose. At the same time, though, missed weight. He tried his ass off. It was what it was.
Big moment for Kai, though. He never won on a New Year's card. I think he was like 0-3 in New Year's cards. 0-2, something crazy like that. So he broke the curse, man.
Yeah, I just checked it. It was the fourth time was the charm, bro. Fourth time was the charm. He lost against Hiramasa Igabugo. He lost to Koji Horiguchi and Manel Cape.
No shame in any of those, though. No shame in any. Those are all great fighters, dude.
Those are all dogs, so I get it. Yeah, man, it was a fun card. I gotta go ahead and shout out RIZIN. They gave me the code to watch this one for free to go ahead and I was tweeting about it, talking about it all night on Twitter, so gotta go ahead and shout out the RIZIN PR team for that one. But yeah, man, overall pretty fun card. And hope to see. I mean, I will say I don't follow RIZIN enough as I should. But at the same time, I'll definitely be watching their next New Year's Eve one, man. So yeah. Any closing thoughts on that one before we go ahead and move on?
I mean, they announced a lot of fights the night of. I mean, I'm definitely going to check out their next. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch. I think in general more cards throughout this next year from RIZIN. For one, just because their time set very well for me. But on top of that, I had a lot of fun just watching them overall, man. I thought they had some fun little talent. I mean, yeah, no, definitely need to keep up with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Because every time I end up watching them, it's like, they are pretty fun. Yeah, they're fun, but I just never, the time difference always fucks me up, so.
Back, what's crazy though, Josh? At one point in time, though, that would have been the only way we could have probably watched fights, back in the days in Pride.
You're right, yeah.
And dude, back then it was even more fucked, dude, because we were having to get janky ass shit to watch fucking, get different TV boxes and shit to watch Pride and all that. It would have been completely different if we would have been watching at that time for us. I mean, holy shit, that time I met MMA was and just keeping up with it was a whole nother experience in itself that sadly we will never get.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, I've talked about this before, but dude, it's so depressing whenever you think about Pride and you'll go back and sometimes I'll just go back and watch old Pride events. And then I'll like pull up the schedule, like, damn man, I love MMA. What's the next event? And I'll look it up, and it's like some UFC Apex cards. Like, motherfucker, man. Like,
it's but then you see that Don Fry clip with oh my god, I always forget the guy's name. What's his name? You know which Don Fry clip I'm talking about with them just repeatedly punching each other in the face.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I can't remember his fucking name. Oh my god. I'm like losing fucking my MMA cred card here. Is it Takayama? Yoshihiro Takayama? I think it was Yoshihiro Takayama.
I think you're right.
Where they just stood in the clinch and were just fucking bang, bang, bang. You know?
Full on just, not technical whatsoever.
Like how men do.
Right? The kind of shit you really want to see.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
We'll never get moments like that ever again.
Yeah, and that's one of those things about MMA that, as much as I love watching the sport grow and, more and more, like, whenever, like, I remember watching, when I first started watching MMA, like, you know, to over 10 years ago at this point, like 12 years ago, I want to say now. Like, MMA wasn't always, it wasn't like on ESPN that often. Like, they wouldn't talk about fight cards that didn't include Brock Lesnar, you know what I mean? Like, the sport's like evolved so much in just a short time that I've been watching, and it's kind of like, man, I kind of want to go back, man, you know, like.
Right. You know, another thing that I wanted to, dude, how'd you feel about watching it dude, it was so like different rule set. You know what I mean? The head stomps and knees on grounded opponents. I don't think they allow soccer kicks, do they?
They don't allow soccer kicks, but they do allow head stomps, from my understanding.
Which, dude, you almost wonder, right? Like, which is worse? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure soccer kicks are worse, but still, you know what I mean? The visual, right? Yeah. But, I mean, it just made me realize, like I was talking that night to the boys about it. I was like, you know, I kind of, and I've talked to you privately about it. I'm like, dude, I think we should have knees on grounded opponents, dude. I feel like you should be able to knee a guy in this situation, because I feel like it does give kind of the wrestler an advantage that you can't knee him while he's in like that turtling position, you know, when they're facing down or north-south or whatever, or, you know, like just certain little spots on the ground where I feel like a guy could be doing, you know, be damaging or doing more. I kind of be down for it, you know. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be against head stomps, but you know, but I think the American crowd isn't ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think there's so many things that, like, I wish we did do in MMA. Like, we do, like.
Oh, and the ropes, dude. It being in a ring. The difference in takedowns.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. I mean, there's a lot of fun shit we could do. And that's why it makes me so mad whenever it's like the UFC will experiment sometimes. But it's like, yeah, we have power slap. Like, I was like, God damn it. Like, we could have fucking. Like, there's, like, they could do some fun shit. And because here's the reality, man. Like, they have, like, I understand, right? Like, theoretically, there's supposed to be a difference between the Athletic Commission and the UFC. And, like, oh, they're separate, so they're not really, you know. But let's be honest, the UFC has Nevada under their fucking thumb. And they have the same thing for California and, like, a lot of these other states. So it's like, they could have soccer kicks if they wanted soccer kicks. You know what I mean? They could get rid of rules if they wanted them, you know? So, yeah, I mean, watching that RIZIN card, it's like, damn, dude, like, there's such a whole other world of possibilities, you know?
And then there's also kickboxing matches in there, too, dude. That was the other thing.
Kickboxing with 4-ounce gloves is my shit, dog. I love that. Dude, I love that.
It's fun.
It is fun. It's just, and I've said this like a million times. I even said it on Twitter, not to go back to Power Slap, but I said this on Twitter watching, like, one of the early prelims, which was like a kickboxing match with 4-ounce gloves, and I'm like, why didn't the UFC just do this? Like, are you like why not, dude? Like, they can even have UFC fighters do it too. Like,
the little one-offs. It'd be so seamless too.
Yeah, not even just one-offs. They could have their own. If they wanted to have their own league, they could have their own fucking kickboxing league. You know what I mean? Because I really think the only thing holding back kickboxing in America is there's never been a big enough promoter to get it, like, on screens. The closest was Glory, and they were just only able to get it on UFC Fight Pass.
Dude, so, and even if it wasn't fucking Muay Thai, bro.
Muay Thai, yeah, there you go. Like, there's a lot of
but it was so refreshing to have RIZIN. I think that's probably the big thing for me. It was just having that different, you know. It was kind of nice to get away from the typical UFC show, you know what I mean? I'll admit it, you know, everything from, like I said, the different rule set to the walkouts to the ramp to it being in a ring, and obviously the Japanese crowd, which is very different than the American crowds and the European crowds, and even the Latin Am crowds and South American crowds. Like, even that was really refreshing.
Yeah, 100%, dude, 100%. It's always refreshing, man. I will say, you really see the cultural differences. I love it whenever, like, MMA, like, the UFC travels, or, like, other MMA promotions go to the Bellator goes to Ireland or shit. Because you really see, like, the cultural differences more than anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, Cedric Duwambe, whenever the PFL went to France, they were, like, they were with that boy so hard, bro. Like, if fucking Jordan Zebo won that fight, there's a French Revolution Part 2 going on, bro. Like,
we would have Malice in the Palace, bro.
Yeah, and Jordan Zebo was French, but they were totally on Cedric Duwambe's side, dude. Like, just,
it was about a civil war up in that bitch, bro.
I know. The closest thing I can't even think of, like, any time that's happened to, like, America. But, like, in Japan, they're, like, respectful as shit, you know? Like, they got their favorites, they'll cheer, but, like,
I don't know if it's specifically for an American dude, but the thing is, like, GSP in Canada. I can't remember what GSP in Canada had his big moments, but it was in Canada. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's just, like, dude, like, for example, like, GSP, even at, like, I love me some GSP, but, like, let's be honest, there were a lot of fights of his career where he just took dudes down and just stalled out in guard and didn't do much. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, like, yet, they somehow, I think he even fought fucking Jake Shields, which, like, on paper, is not a very fun fight. And the fight itself wasn't crazy exciting. Like, he jabbed the shit out of him and broke his orbital. It's kind of a brutal fight, you know? But, like, I think that's the fight where they packed, like, 60,000 people in Montreal. Like, they had, like, crazy...
That was the one?
I believe so. Like, well, they had multiple. They had multiple anytime GSP fought in Canada. But.
Well, yeah, obviously, but still. But I know he had, like, one that, like, stood out above the rest.
Yeah, I want to say it was the Jake Shields fight, and that's, like, a fight that, like, on paper, like, nobody gives a fuck about Jake Shields fights. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Which, I mean, yeah, I know it's funny, I know. But, like, he has a huge fan base now for other reasons, but, just... But yeah, I believe that one in the, he had a couple of them, man. He had a couple of them where it was just crazy, just a crazy environment. And like they rode so hard. 55,000 people in Toronto, for GSP versus, Jake Shields. Yeah, like imagine getting 55,000 people for a Jake Shields fight, bro. Jesus, you know?
Man, Canadians are so nice.
They're just different. They're just built different, dude. Like, they really are. I mean, and that was the only time they did it. Like, if you look at his other fights, like, they had some other big crowds, like, he had, like, but nothing like that. So, but that just goes to show you, man, like, they ride hard. I mean, you and I were talking about this in the green room, just, like, different cultural differences between the West and other countries. Like, we don't give a fuck. Like, we don't give a shit, dude. Like, we'll do the USA chants, but, like, that's it. You know,
it's not the same hype, bro. You see these European crowds, dude. It's a different level.
Yeah, we don't root for people. We root against people. You know, I think that's a good way to put it. Like whenever Colby fought Leon, like sure they were doing the USA chants, but do you think anybody really gave a fuck? You know what I mean? They booed Colby when he was leaving the arena.
But if they were in England and they were rooting for Leon, dude,
yeah, they'd be going hard for their boy. You know, it's different. It's just different. You know, but anyways, I mean, I think we spent enough time on that RIZIN card, though. I mean, it's sick, though. It's a very fun card. Shout out RIZIN.
Even MMA Guru would have been in the crowd, dude, leading those chants. Yeah, he would have got out of his wheelchair.
I was about to say, bro, I didn't know. He's going to be leading the chants from the chair, though. I mean, that's going to be tough for him to do, you know?
Oh, God.
Dude, I will say, hey, you know what? I got to eat some crow here. I think I called him a fat fuck once in the show.
He's not that big. He's not that bad.
No, he's not that bad. I mean, I could tell his technique. When the first photo came out of him next to Cameron Simon, I was like, former fat guy move. I see it. He's wearing the black tee. He's standing up fairly straight, you know, like.
Josh's like, I've been there. I know all the techniques, bro.
I perfected the techniques, okay?
Josh's like, layers, you know, flannels, you know, like, I know how it works.
Hoodies are a big one.
Right.
Definitely ill-fitting clothes or, you know, tight black shirt really does the trick, bro. So, anyways, man, anyways, we do have a couple of, you know, earlier this week, I put out the call for some mailbag questions for, you know, our male viewers, you know, so, that's a joke. But anyways, yeah, I put out the call for some fan questions, for some mailbag questions. We got a couple of them. We didn't get nearly as many as I wanted, but, you know, I'll let that go. This first question actually relates to that RIZIN card, dude, because at RIZIN 45 over the weekend, Manny Pacquiao hit the ring, you know, mid-40s at this point, been retired since the loss to Yordenis Ugas back in 2021. He said he is officially fighting Floyd Mayweather in the RIZIN ring in a rematch of their 2015 shit fight of the century. What's your interest level? This is the fan question. What thoughts on it going down in RIZIN? What's your interest level in seeing Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao running it back, either as an exhibition or professional fight, because they didn't say which? Yeah,
that was the other thing I was tripping out about. I didn't know how they, you know, if it was to be a exhibition or a pro match. But, I mean, regardless, I'd check it out, you know. And if it was a pro match, I'd definitely be very intrigued because, I mean, Manny really isn't that far removed from fighting a pretty high level in recent time. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, like, Floyd is great and all, but I mean, I don't know what would happen if you threw Floyd back in 2021. How would he do against the competition that Manny faced? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, being a RIZIN, I mean, there's already a RIZIN connection there. And what really threw me off is that the boy Manny's fighting Buakaw, right?
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, right? So he's fighting Buakaw in I don't remember the exact date, but it's February. And Floyd's gonna fight John Gotti again on like February 11th.
That's also weird as fuck too.
So they're fighting within 1 week of each other.
They're getting tune-ups, bro. They're getting ready for each other.
They're getting tune-ups for their fucking exhibition. I think they're totally gonna fight an exhibition. I think there's no way that they're gonna do a pro fight because I don't think there's any way that how old is Floyd now? 45.
But you know something though, it's an exhibition until someone starts to fight.
Did you see Manny Pacquiao's exhibition with DKU? I think he's like some South Korean martial artist guy.
No, I remember hearing about it though.
Yeah, the guy practiced in Bullshido, so he got his ass kicked. But Manny was fucking swinging for the fences in there. So I mean, I'm pretty sure Manny is one of those guys that like it's an exhibition in name only. Like. I think if they actually do book this thing, they may go out there and actually try to win. So I think they probably will because
there's pride in there, bro. There's pride in there.
Well, especially because they fought once already,
Yeah.
And Manny always wanted the rematch, and he always felt like he got robbed because he had the fucked up shoulder and all that stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised.
And his wife confronted him that night about cheating.
Did she?
Bro, yes. That's something I found out years later too.
Well, tell me the story. I don't know the story, bro.
Fucking in the locker room. I think that same night she went in there and confronted about him potentially cheating. Or during one of his fights. I can't remember if it was that one, but I know it was during a major fight. For some reason, I think it was during the Floyd fight when I heard the story.
Yeah.
Former
senator.
Shit you don't think about, bro. Shit you don't think about that affects the fight.
Yeah, former Senator Manny Pacquiao fucking cheating on his wife, man. That sucks. Yeah, but I mean, realistically, if they do book this thing, and I'm actually going to go on the record, there's no fucking way this rematch is going to happen. No chance. Zero. Zilch. I mean, I think this is the closest they're going to get, because Manny, he obviously, he's never fought for RIZIN, but like he's been working with them for a while.
It's crazy though, because there's money there. There's definitely money there to be made. A lot of money too.
100%. And Floyd has a connection with RIZIN. He's fought there twice already. And both of his exhibitions in RIZIN were like Tenshin Nasukawa and Mikaru Asakura came out trying to win. So those were by far his most fun exhibitions. But,
and they paid the price.
They did pay the price. They both got knocked out, But yeah, I mean, I just don't think this is going to happen. I mean, as far back as like the first fight, they've been saying that they're going to rematch. And like, I just really struggle to believe it's going to happen. Like maybe they've waited long enough. Like it's been 9 years. I think most people have I mean, I don't know what the public perception of their first fight is now. I remember at the time everybody hated it. I thought it was an okay fight, but it wasn't.
I mean, but still though, the fact that they're announcing this, and even then Manny even kind of like paused.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, can I say? He's like, I don't know if you wanted me to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That whole thing was kind of weird. And then Home Dog's like, Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Like, it threw me for a loop, right? Like, I remember I was there and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, Homeboy's buying Buakaw, like, soon, right? Like, I was tripping out. I was like, maybe it was, they say there was a fight announced. Is that her Buakaw or Floyd? Like, I was like tripping out, trying to figure out shit. But no, the Buakaw fight's going down, and then they announced that, bro. I mean, like I tell you, I'm still tripping out about it.
Yeah. I really hope that, in the case of Floyd, I really don't know, because I don't know how badly Floyd needs the money. In the case of Manny, he ran for president of the Philippines, and I understand it's different than the United States, but that's a very expensive thing to do. So, I hope it's not money motivated, but if I had to guess, it probably is. So I think Manny will probably end up fighting in RIZIN.
I mean, Josh, it's called prize fighting, dude.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think he'll also end up, you're not wrong. I think he'll also end up fighting, Buakaw. But I don't think he'll end up, fighting Floyd. I just think, that's a cursed matchup, It took him 10 years. Yeah. It took him 10 years to get it done normally. And now, they've been teasing for every 6 months. I swear to God, they've been teasing.
By the way, where were you when you watched that? That went down when we were in middle school, right?
Yes. Wait a minute. No. I think that was freshman year of high school, 2015.
Is that actually right?
I believe so. So wait, okay. Yeah. I'm right about that. Freshman year. Or it could have been, yeah, correct. Because we graduated in 2019. So 2015 first year. I thought the maths on that.
Because I remember I had moved apartments in the same apartment complex, but we still had cable in my old apartment. Like, it was still going until the end of the month or whatever. We still had the TV in the box hooked up there. And I remember we went back that night to watch it there. We had fucking 2 pull-out chairs right there in front of the TV. We called, we fucking bought it on TV and all that. We're all excited and shit. We watch it just to be fucking disappointed. Where were you when that happened? Because we were in our old 2-bedroom apartment with in the fucking empty-ass living room with a plasma TV and 2 pull-out chairs, bro. And I was left disappointed.
Well, in my case, I don't have any interesting story. Like, there were some I watched a lot of boxing with, like, my dad, a lot of the bigger matches up, because he's always just more into boxing more than MMA. Did not watch that one. He was never a Floyd fan, so did not give a shit. So
Who could blame him, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the earliest memories I do have was watching, about boxing, was watching the Floyd, Victor Ortiz fight at my neighbor's house. There's they're having a whole watch party, and it is fucking hilarious, but, yeah, so I remember watching the Floyd Manny fight just on at my local Buffalo Wild Wings, actually. So I don't have any big story about it, unfortunately. Because I thought that fight was going to be a relatively, even then I remember thinking damn, Manny's too past it, you know, because he got knocked out by Marquez, and even in the Tim Bradley fights, he looked a lot slower. I mean, not slower, but you get my point. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Pac-Man was robbed. Fuck it, you know?
You let him know, champ. You let him know.
Yeah. There was a very small fraction of people that were like, yeah, Manny got, he deserved the win. And I mean, I don't agree with him, but I think for hilarity's sake, I wish they would have given him the decision, you know? I mean, if I remember correctly, they even they did kind of shaft him on the cards, which was the case for basically every Mayweather fight, but except for Canelo. But anyways, yeah. I mean, to kind of close out on this question, man. I'll watch it if it happens. The Mayweather Pacquiao 2. I don't think it will. That's it. Next fan question. This one came via the YouTube comment section. So did the previous one, if I didn't say it. Fight you're most looking forward to in 2024. We can go off of the scheduled ones or just ones we think are going to happen. But Angel, what's a fight you really are looking forward to this year?
I guess it's kind of I guess this person doesn't have a fight yet, but honestly, just Izzy's next fight. What is he going to come back to? I think I'm really curious about that. And then, whoever Alex O'Hare fights next. Which is funny because those two guys could maybe even end up fighting each other at some point. So those were the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
And obviously Connor Chandler, right? You have to be to an extent, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that Connor Chandler fight, which, I mean, I guess we could go ahead and mention that now. I mean, I had that in the news section, but, that's up there, man. Connor Chandler, international
spoilers,
fight.
Right?
Huh?
Fucking spoilers, right?
Yeah, fucking spoilers, bro. Connor Chandler International Fight Week, June 29th. Man, I'm fucking psyched for it. If they have it at middleweight, that would honestly be genuinely very funny. So I kind of hope it does happen.
Could you imagine? You do what you're told.
You do what you're told, you know?
We gotta make that has to become an in of itself, right? Just that bit.
Well, I posted I posted a clip of it. It was
By the way, I wish
he
we
did
had
do what he was told.
Some epic music behind that or some shit, or some fucking plotting music. It was good. Don't get me wrong, that it was good. I just wish you would have added something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he did do what he was told, man. He did what he was told. I mean, Connor Chandler 185 is hilarious. So I will say that's up there as my most look forward to fight. Up there is one of my most look forward to fights of the year, because I'm really just curious where Connor's at, man. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, we haven't seen him fight since he broke his leg against Poirier, and it doesn't feel like it. But that was 2.5 years ago now.
By the time the fight happens, will it be over 3 years?
Hold on, let me think. It'll be close. I want to say he fought July of 20. I can't remember if he fought July of 2021. I believe he did. It was July 2021 was his last fight, and this fight's gonna happen in June. So almost 3 years, just under 3 years.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
crazy.
It is crazy, man. And I really want to see what he's got left, man. I'm not gonna write him off as easily as everybody else has. Because a lot of people have just written them off, and they're like, oh, you know, he hasn't.
It's not a bad matchup too, because Chandler isn't necessarily young, and Chandler is still fighting at a pretty good level, you know. So it's I think it's actually a very good matchup, and dude, at the end of the day, like, for one, good for Michael Chandler if he does if this ends up coming through and this is the fight, right? I mean, it seems like it, right? Apparently it is, but good for Chandler for getting his payday, right? Like he said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, and he wasn't fucking wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have the sirens going off because we live in fucking Kansas and they do it every fucking loud as shit. So I'm sorry if you heard
Wednesday, that. I was even gonna bring this up to you today. It's the first Wednesday of every month, so obviously.
I know. I know. So
giving away the day we're recording, right?
I know. Well, you know, to be fair, we do change it pretty much every single week, but you know,
we're pretty consistent though, right? For the most
Tuesday,
part.
Wednesday, or Thursday. That's it. You know.
But it's Tuesday or Wednesday more likely than not, and as of lately, we've been pretty heavily on the Wednesday recordings.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the Wednesday recording. I feel like it's like the perfect point of the week. You know, a lot of news comes out by that point too.
Dude, by the way, like, what is? I mean, I don't even know if we've ever talked about this specifically on the show, but what is it with Wednesday and MMA news, dude? Like, or just news in general in the combat sports world. Like, there's just something about fucking Wednesday where all major news drops on a Wednesday. It's never on a Monday. Like, you know, we'll get it every now and then on Monday or Tuesday. But undisputedly, unfucking-doubtedly, always on a fucking Wednesday, dude. We've always got news.
Yeah, I don't know why, but you're not wrong.
Wednesday at noon, too, dude, after we're done recording, too, to top it off, just to fuck us over even harder.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. I mean, that is something that always happens. Every single time we fucking we get done recording, boom, news. So, but yeah, man. I mean, in terms of just kind of redirect back to it, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm super hyped for Conor Chandler. I really want to see what he's got left, man. And here's the thing that's interesting to me about that fight is I really do think if Conor is even a fraction of what he used to be, that's probably the perfect matchup for him. Like, I don't think it's going to get any better than that. In terms of facing a top 5 guy, like, Chandler's older than him. Like, I understand. Hits hard as fuck. I get the whole thing. But, man, like, 2015 Conor, 2016 Conor probably tunes him up easy. So, we'll see how much he's got left. Because in 2024, who knows, you know?
You know, this is I know we're kind of, like, going into this topic a little deeper, but who's Chandler fighting at the time in Bellator? At that time, like 2015, 2016 area when Conor was fucking at his peak. By the way, I'm pulling it up. I don't know if you are too, but I mean, that was kind of around the time that kind of Chandler had resurged because he had those 3 back-to-back losses where he lost to Will Brooks twice, Eddie Alvarez. I think he did bounce back against Derek Campos, David Rickles. Obviously, like, the competition, right? Not what Conor was fighting, but still, I mean, but you have guys like Benson Henderson and Patricky in there, you know?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. What I will go ahead and say is that, like, I don't know, man. In terms of, like, level of competition, obviously Conor is facing, like, a lot better guys, but it's just, like, I don't know, man. Like, I really do think, like, if they, stylistically, like, if we had to probably compare Chandler to a former opponent of Conor's, who would you say? Probably Chad Mendes, you know? Maybe Eddie Alvarez. Brawlers who can take him down, hit the mat. Granted, Chandler's probably a better wrestler than both of them, I had to say. Mendes close, but, yeah, I mean, and we saw how now granted, he didn't easily dispatch Chad Mendes, but that's a big style difference on, 2 weeks notice when that fight happened.
Yeah, and that was a breakthrough movement. Literally in the movie, dude. One of the biggest moments in the Notorious movie, dude. That sequence that I will go back every once in a while, probably once a year or multiple times a year and watch just because it's so so sick, dude. When the fight ends up on the ground, Conor gets back up, and I mean, it seemingly hurts Mendes, and he gets him out of there. I mean, that is a wild moment.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I liked your matchup comparisons though. You're not wrong. You said Mendes, Alvarez, like.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. It's funny because Eddie fought Chandler twice. You know?
Yeah.
They're one of these.
Yeah, and like that's what it just comes down to. And we saw how easily, granted, different fights. But man, I think Eddie Alvarez on paper is a more clean striker than Chandler. Like Chandler hits so hard, but that's it. So we'll see if Conor can navigate it. Because I really do think like if Conor 2016, he's a fucking sharpshooter, man. I don't even think that's a contest.
Yeah.
But because there's so many questions.
Chandler throws wide. He doesn't throw down the middle a lot. I remember that was one thing Dustin said about Chandler. He said, he probably would have got me out of there in their fight if Chandler would have thrown it down the middle more. But he kept throwing wide, kept hooking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I love Chandler for that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, most entertaining man of the UFC,
But yeah, look, and that's like, look, if there's ever one downfall in Michael Chandler's like whole career, is like, dude, that guy. When it gets wild, he does it, but it's not necessarily in his favor, dude. He'll go in the fire when he doesn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
His IQ fight wise will go down a lot when he wants just to get into that brawl.
The only time I've seen him just say fuck it was whenever he had the fight against Brent Primus, the rematch. And he just took Brent Primus down again and again and again and again. Said, fuck striking with this guy,
But it's funny because Brent is a fucking jiu-jitsu guy,
Exactly. That's partially why it was so funny, but that's like the only time I can remember Chandler just saying, like, there was other fights where like he's taking fighters down, but like after, swinging for the fences for a little bit, like.
He was definitely that wrestler that fell in love with his striking, right? Like he didn't find that balance of like, chain wrestling, striking, having the balance of everything, right?
100%,
Because the guy's an amazing athlete, carries a lot of power. We know he's capable of wrestling, and he's dedicated. That's something you can't take about it. Like extremely fucking disciplined, but at times hasn't been the most intelligent with some of his fight choices.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've had multiple conversations about this, like where we're like, dude, it's kind of crazy. But Chandler's career at one point could have been in the UFC, like talking about when he transitioned. He could have been UFC champ, beat Charles Oliveira, maybe could have beat Justin Gaethje, and it could have maybe even beat Dustin Poirier at one point. Like all the fights he lost to UFC, he could have potentially won.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not. You're completely correct. 100% correct.
And then he lost some of these in the most opposite of fucking ways, where I was like, well, Chandler's never been choked out by Oliveira. Oliveira's gonna have to get him out of there on his feet. Fucking Charles Oliveira, jiu-jitsu master he is. Fuck that, dude. Muay Thai God gets fucking Chandler out of there. Dustin Poirier submits Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler had never been submitted in his professional MMA career. Like, insanity, man. Insanity.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you know what? Like, dude, and we bring up that Gaethje fight specifically. Oh
god, that fight pisses me off so much, dude.
He got his ass kicked so badly in round 2. I mean, he nearly got him out of there in round 1, and Gaethje, he had some moments as well, so landing some big shots. But round 3, like, Chandler probably could have won if he just did a little bit more. Like, but he didn't, so he's just fucking around, and he's throwing Superman punches that weren't landing from 50 yards away and stuff like that, like, damn, man,
he's trying to get a shockwave with those punches, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyways, man, yeah, I'm excited to see, just kind of redirect, really excited for the return of Roadhouse actor Conor McGregor.
By the way, when the fuck are we getting a trailer on that?
We have not gotten a trailer, but apparently it's coming out March 21st of 2024.
Oh, dude, we gotta get a trailer fucking this month, dude. By the end of this month.
It also has
off topic.
Yeah.
Have you watched Iron Claw yet, dude? I want to watch it so bad.
I know
it's so off topic. It's our fucking podcast. We talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, I have not seen it. I want to see it really bad, but soon.
Too. So. I was gonna watch it Sunday, but we had RIZIN, so I woke up hella late for the show that I was gonna go watch it at originally.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't even see the cast of this Roadhouse movie. They got fucking Daniela Melchior. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. The chick from the Suicide Squad that was like the rat lady. I don't know if you saw the Suicide Squad from 2021.
I did.
Yeah. excited to see that. So that's a good cast. I think I actually got a pretty good cast of this, looking at it on Wiki. So yeah, and then obviously the notorious Conor McGregor. So
Notorious.
Yeah, but anyways, man, in terms of other fights, I mean, I'm excited to see the return of Izzy. Hopefully, I really want to see how he rebounds. In terms of like scheduled fights, I'm very, very excited to see Sean DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. Gonna see that fight going down. Very excited. What else, man? I mean, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and obviously, I gotta say it. I don't like him, but the return of John Jones. I'm very excited to see where he goes, man. I don't know whether it's against
I like
Stipe.
how you just had to get that in there.
The return of whether it's against Stipe or fucking Tom Aspinall or, whoever it may be. Very excited to see what happens. Very excited. Nonetheless, I mean, in terms of the next question, favorite non-MMA moment of 2024? This question's really vague. So, I mean, what's your favorite non-MMA sports-related moment of the year?
Fuck, I don't even know how the fuck I'm supposed to answer this.
What's something that happened last year that you liked? Anything in life?
God, dude. Think. Shit.
It could be personal. It could be
Pat Miletich getting a DUI on the way to his press conference with Mike Jackson.
Oh fuck, dude. You know what, man? Hey,
this is what you get for me being your co-host.
Dude. Hey, show some respect to.
Dude,
Gravy Seals member, Pat Miletich. He was out there. He was out there with the Jan Sixers, bro.
Dude, all I want to know is, was he sober for when he rushed the Capitol building?
Fucking Christ, dude. Oh my God.
I did not think this would go this direction. I'm fucking tearing up, dude.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, he was out there, dude. He was leading them. He was out there leading them, dude. I think it's it's crazy to think there's like multiple celebrities that were there. Like Pat Miletich is just one of them. Like there was, oh man, the guy who, oh man, I can't think of his fucking name right now, man.
Dude, fucking, there was ghosts there too, dude.
Bro, Jay Johnston, the guy who voiced the fucking what's his name in Bob's Burgers, Jimmy Pesto, one of the main characters was there. Fucking also known for Mr. Show, which I loved that show. And fucking dude, the funniest thing was fucking watching Mr. Show, this HBO comedy from the 90s with Bob Odenkirk and fucking David Cross. And I'm watching, and I'm like looking at the cast. It's like, oh, damn, a young Jack Black is in this show. Oh, that's hilarious. And then I'm looking at the whole cast. I'm like, oh, Jay Johnson. I click on him. Motherfucker was at the Capitol, bro. I mean, just instantly ruined my day, dude.
But I mean, if I had to say another moment, which isn't I guess kind of not MMA directly related, but there is some MMA aspect to it, would be, dude, all the Mike Tyson and like Francis shit, all their footage, all their videos coming out. That first training footage that came out of Iron Mike with fucking Francis Ngannou, the Predator. He's like, rip it, get it, Francis, get it,
Yeah.
And then obviously the press conference and all that. I mean, that is all, so much fun and a fucking movie, dude. I mean, all of that was great.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah, for me personally, I mean, the Chiefs won the fucking Super Bowl again, and we're gonna do it again this year, bitches. You think we're down and out? We're not gonna win shit this year. But man, I'd say that was a big one. That was a big one, man. Seeing the Chiefs, seeing everybody cry about, oh, the referees, afterwards was really.
Man, you're doubling down, dude. You're really going hard.
I really am, dude. I'm at that point now where it's like, I can't even go on like r/NFL anymore on Reddit with that because they just instantly attack people with Chiefs players. People are so salty. And I'm just like, fuck it, let's embrace the villain arc, bro. Let's fucking do it. The Patriots fucking embrace the villain arc by cheating every single fucking year and getting caught for it, so fuck it, dude. Like, let's be the heels, bro. Let's do it, dude. I'm down, So I guess I'd have to say That was a big one. Personally, like a lot, 2023 sucked a lot of it. I got engaged though, which was very fun. Very exciting. Yeah, I mean that's it for that question. I mean, I'm trying to think of stuff, man. It was kind of like very kind of vague on if it's sports related or non-sports related. So there's fucking two answers. This answer honestly cracked me up because I don't know why, but I've seen this same question asked on a lot of podcasts recently. I don't remember which podcast I was listening to where somebody also asked this fan question. It could be the same fucking person for all I know. But Angel, what's your favorite discontinued food? It could be anything. It doesn't exist anymore.
Well, fuck. Okay, what if they brought it back? I know that one's kind of.
If you know what, I'll count it. If they brought it back as like a limited time thing, I'll count it.
Fuck, dude. Well, we had this one last year, dude, when they took away my fucking Mexican pizza and then they finally brought it back. And my volcano taco. They're honestly both together, dude.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on the
From Taco Bell, for those who don't know, and then if we have some non-American fans who are a little confused right now.
Yeah. Taco Bell for the non-American fans is like Mexican food, but not Mexican food. So, basically, nothing like, yeah, I mean, that's a good, the Mexican pizza, bro. That made me so angry. I never even got one, dude. Like, cause every time I went, they were out of it. It's like, fuck you, you know? Like,
I mean, they have it now at all times.
Yeah, they have it. It's back now, but there was like a decade where it was gone. So that's a valid answer.
Oh, and then when it's actually gone, I still haven't forgotten, Josh, my snack wraps! I want them back!
Fucking, do you know? Wait a minute, you don't know?
Oh my God,
you don't know, Angel? Bringing it back this year.
Oh my God, it's making a comeback, dude. Dude, this is like fucking Jordan coming back to the Bulls, dude, after playing baseball.
Yeah, they're bringing it. From what I know, apparently they're bringing it back, bro. Dude, those snack wraps. Oh, the McDonald's snack wrap. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Do you have a favorite seasonal item from like a place like a fast food or a lot of like Starbucks does seasonal shit? Like, do you have anything like that?
Oh man, I'm gonna be a little bitch right now. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a little bitch. The chestnut praline.
Oh man, he fucking
wrap it from Starbucks. I'm being a whole ass white.
Oh my God, from Starbucks?
It's from Starbucks, dude. I went. Shit you not, my fiance, on Sunday morning, we went to Target, Chipotle, and Starbucks. We were like, we're having a fucking white girl day, bro.
Dude, what else didn't you hit? Oh, fucking, crumble cookie, dude, and you would have had the whole trinity.
Fuck, you're right.
Oh, shit, dude, I mean, if you would have gone over here to the Target by me, dude, they have a crumble cookie over there now. I mean, honestly, knowing how many, with crumble cookies being built everywhere, there might be a crumble cookie over there by you now.
There might be. Where the fuck? I don't even know what the fuck a crumble cookie is. It's just like big cookies or something?
Yeah, they only make like, I don't know if it's day to day or week to week, but they'll do like 6 cookies and they're different each week and shit like that. I can't remember, or each day or something like that. They're good. They're cool. They're just really, I mean, they're just big. I mean, they're all right. They're fun.
Yeah. But I didn't get to answer the question though. And the reality is that I can't get the KFC Guitar Hero box from 2009. I can't get it out of my mind. I mean, they had the box. It came with the drink. It came with sides. It came with the fucking.
I guess another one for me would be the Angry Whopper from Burger King. If you know, you know.
That's a good ass pick. That's a good pick.
I fucking love the Angry Whopper. I forgot what sauce it would put on that shit. It had onion rings, jalapenos. That shit would hit. Would your asshole like it later on? No, it wouldn't. But in the moment, I'll tell you what, I love that shit.
Yeah, dude. That's a good one too. That's a good one. But man, I think we even talked about
yes, we did.
I was like, bro, the KFC Guitar Hero meal with fucking Chicken Littles. It was a whole box. And by the way,
I'm sure there's like other obscure ones I'm forgetting. I just thought of one now that you mentioned it, and I just got up there. But dude, fucking Wendy's had these boneless wings that I remember back in the day. They were fire as fuck. I don't remember. I don't even know what the fuck they were called, dude. But I remember when I had them, they were good. They were spicy as fuck. Maybe they were really spicy to me because I was younger, but still, dude, I remember those shits were hidden.
Yeah, I cannot attest to that, but that does sound good. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got, man. The fucking KFC Guitar Hero meal, because
Do I have a seasonal item that I like? I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Dude, you know, not even one that's mine, but one that I remember too. My dad loved the fucking holiday pies from McDonald's, dude.
Oh, dude, those are pretty good though.
Dude, my dad dude, whenever it was like wintertime, dude, I swear to God, that fucker would always get a holiday pie.
Yeah. Dude, fucking 100%. I get it, dude. I get it. Those things are pretty good.
The Guitar Hero box, dude. Oh man, that's fucking good, dude.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got for that one. We can kind of go ahead and, if you want, we can kind of go ahead and move on to some news. Because we got a fair bit of it, man. We talked about McGregor Chandler. Obviously, that was announced June 29th, International Fight Week. First time that's going to be going down in June, funnily enough. So there you go. But you have other news. So with the Conor Chandler announcement, you know, it was half, oh, awesome, that fight's scheduled. The other half is, oh, fuck, is anybody going to fight at UFC 300? Don't worry, Angel. Don't worry. Because from what we've heard, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad is set for UFC 300 in April. We don't know if it's the main event. God willing, it's not. What do you make about that being the first title fight added to the card? It hasn't been officially announced, according to Helwani and Leon Edwards himself. That's the goal, you know.
I mean, I think it's good to have those guys on. Obviously, they deserve their moment, right? Mm-hmm. Out of respect for both of them, Josh, I think that's a big moment for them. It could be a big showcasing for Leon, right? And it could also be a breakout moment for Belal. It goes both ways. I'm pretty confident that won't be the main event, but with it being a 170 matchup, I think it only gives me more faith that it's either going to be it's going to be a 205 title defense or a heavyweight fight as the main event. We're going by matchups. And unless someone gets bombed out of this 185 fight, and they usually, when it comes to title fights and how they're going to be aligned, they always go in order of weight. So unless, like I said, something happens drastic in this Sean and Enriquez fight, I don't think we'll be seeing the 185. So it's either going to be heavyweight or light heavyweight, because I don't think they'll put Islam over this, and I don't think Islam will fight for the, like, just kind of like putting it together. I'm pretty confident this won't be our main event, Josh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I really hope so. I mean, I don't have anything against these guys. In fact, I'm very excited for this fight when it is going to take place. At the same exact time, we also have to acknowledge the fact that, like, bro, that's a crazy fight. It's just, you know, like, to potentially have UFC fucking 300, man, for the main event. Now, granted, I'm agreeing with you that I don't think that will be the main event. I mean, I think even if that is the main event, I think they'll probably stack the undercard so much it won't matter. Because I don't even think most fans know or remember, but whenever you think of UFC 200, right? Let's think of UFC 200, just for example. Who fought on that card? Daniel Cormier, Anderson Silva, Brock Lesnar, you know, John Jones was scheduled for, Conor McGregor was scheduled for. You know who headlined it? Miesha Tate versus Amanda Nunes. Do most people remember that? No, they don't. So they know that was a fight on the card, but I think if you pulled fucking, you know, a lot of fans today, I don't think they'd know, you know. So UFC 100, obviously everybody remembers Brock, but that's partially just because it's fucking Brock Lesnar, you know. So, and his post-fight speech was hilarious, so that's the moment that'll live in MMA history forever. You know, fuck Bud Light, you know, he's gonna go home and drink a Coors Light. So, anyways, man, yeah, I mean, UFC 300, I'm not worried about it. I know a lot of people are getting worried about it for whatever reason. I don't know why. I mean, this is the one thing, like, I shit on the UFC's business practices all the time. This is the one thing I expect them, like, to totally get right. And if they don't, trust me, we'll bitch about it, but, even if this is, like, the main event, like, that's still that's a banger fight, dude. I mean, two guys on historically long win streaks. You know, if they weren't named Belal Muhammad and Leon Edwards, I don't think everybody would fucking love that fight. So, Nobody would have a problem with it being the main event, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But regardless, man, we got some more news to go ahead and discuss. A lot of people coming back, man. Paige VanZant is one of them. Paige VanZant has not competed in combat sports since her second loss in BKFC well over 2 years ago. She's been busy with OnlyFans, making a obscene amount of money. But she did recently do an interview where she said, hey, 2024, I'm back. She showed interest in the PFL. She also said that she'll likely fight in BKFC as well. What's your interest level in the return of 12 gauge, Paige VanZant?
I mean, I've never been on the Paige train ever. But I'd watch her fight, but it's never her as a like. I've never been like, oh, Paige is fighting. I'm not seeking her out ever. She's never offered anything to me specifically that's made me want to watch her fight. I'm just being honest.
I know you're being like diplomatic, but also like it is pretty funny. But go ahead.
I mean, because for other people, I'm sure they watch her because she's attractive. But that's never been. I don't seek her out for that. I don't seek her fights out ever. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah. So
I'm not particularly looking forward to her fights. You know what I mean? I'm not particularly excited for it. I'm just kind of, I'm trying to give you my whole reasoning for it. No,
I'm not trying to shit on you. I just think you were trying so hard to be like, I don't give a fuck, but also you're trying to be like diplomatic about that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm giving my reasoning. I want to give proper reasoning. I don't just want to be like, I could give a fuck less. You know what I mean? I at least want to give at least a somewhat good articulated answer rather than just being a fucking fuck ass and that's it, right?
No, I get it. Anyways, man. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll watch it. I will watch, I'll watch Paige VanZant whenever she returns. I mean, I've never shit on her fighting skills as much as a lot of people have, but I will say, she was a failed prospect who had a lot more to offer, that due to injuries and also just her own, how can I put this, her own interests outside of fighting, led her to this path where she currently is. I mean, there was a time where she was a legitimate, top 10 talent. I think when she fought Rose, she was even top 5 or top 7 or something like that. And it wasn't undeserved. She got a bunch of early wins. She had some big moments, and, her flying, that switch kick knockout of Beck Rongs is still pretty sick today. But look, the record speaks for itself. She hasn't fought in 2.5 years. She signed up for AEW. She wrestled one match, and apparently, according to her trainers, instantly was fucked off, we'll see if she has the dedication to get back into it and get back into fighting, man.
And she had a lot of pressure too when she was young, right? On her come up.
She did. I mean, it's crazy to think about, dude, but she was 19 years old when she came to the UFC.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, she's only 29 now, man. Theoretically, she can make a run. It's just, she
could have still been having a career in the UFC now.
Yeah, she chose not to resign. I mean, the He-Boss fight,
look,
the He-Boss.
It all worked out. Let's not,
I mean, she is.
She is making more than enough money now doing, OF than she would fighting. And it's probably not even close.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Even if she was the most dominant champ she could be in the UFC, I bet you she wouldn't be making the kind of money she is now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, she is hilariously rich. She said that she made more in one day on OnlyFans on her first day than her entire UFC career, and 100%. I completely agree. Not agree, but I'm not surprised whatsoever. So, yeah, man, fuck, so I'll watch it. I will say for the PFL, 100% sign her. That's a layup signing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that. That'd be pretty easy eyes to get there.
Yeah. And plus her husband is signed to Bellator, and,
kind of easy, right?
She didn't want to fight for Bellator because they didn't have money. PFL, they got money though. And they have a March pay-per-view coming up in Saudi Arabia. Just saying. Kind of weird that this stuff's coming up, but whatever. Yeah, maybe they'll add her. I don't know. But, I'll watch Paige. she has that dog in her. She's gotten her ass kicked many times and just kept on coming back. So she has my respect, but in terms of her fighting future, you take it or leave it, you know. But it is.
You're right. She is a dog, though.
Happy for her, man, and her success. Speaking of people coming back to fighting, Paige VanZant never officially retired, but you get my point. Jorge Masvidal officially retired in April. He said if he lost to Gilbert Burns that he would retire. He kept true to his word for all of about 9 months. He took to Twitter earlier this week, officially announcing that he is unretired. He's teased this for quite a while, but nonetheless, what's your interest level in a return of Jorge Gamebred Masvidal?
I'd watch him, bro. That's fucking Jorge, dude. You know he's always going to be down to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's game as fuck. I mean, look, it's funny, Josh, because we got shit on several months ago now. I still remember this fucking TikTok comment. Well, you know, Jorge's retired. He's not going to fight because I think we threw out Jake's we threw him out there with this Jake opponent like a while back when we had no idea. I can't remember. I think that was prior to the. I can't remember what matchup it was. Before the Nate fight, right? I think before we even knew he was going to fight Nate. I could be wrong. Or after he fought Nate. I don't even remember. I
want to say it was after he fought Nate, I believe.
Yeah, he was the name we threw in the bag there. And we got shit about that. And fucking look now, dude. Look fucking Jorge Masvidal is out of retirement now. Shit, you never know. He could do some shit now in the boxing world if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really can, dude. I mean, he really can. I mean, the reality is that the Jake Paul said he was going to fight Jake Paul said that Jorge is going to fight Nate next. So I don't know if that's in the works or anything. You know, that'd be interesting. I'd be. Can you imagine if
those guys fought outside of the UFC?
That'd be crazy. I mean, Jorge is still contractually with the UFC, so anything he wants to do, he's going to have to get permission from Uncle Dana. So,
you know, Uncle Dana wants that money.
He does want that money. So we'll see though, man. We'll see. I'll watch it. I'm down to see Jorge come back. Nonetheless. I mean, if we're, you know, talking about people coming back, I'm going to go ahead and shift the topics around real quick because we have one more. Clarissa Shields said she's officially returning to the PFL in 2024. No opponent listed, but apparently she is serious about it. She said she wants future fights with Chris Cyborg. She said she wants future fights with Kayla Harrison. She said she's serious about the MMA journey. What do you make about you know, her returning to the MMA cage this year?
I mean, it's just that bouncing back and forth, man. It's hard. I mean, it's you know, I don't know how that's gonna. It's just I feel like she's gonna have to commit to one or the other, which sucks, right? Because you'd love to see her bounce back and forth, but the reality is that, especially because she's just starting older. And later on in life, it's just going to take a while. Granted, she has a great foundation to build off, but it's a different game. Mm-hmm. It'd be different if she was going from MMA to boxing, I think. She'd be only focusing on one. Instead, she's focusing on, you know, MMA striking, you know, grappling, you know, different conditioning, all of that, fighting in the cage, kicks, you know, it's a different game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it really is. And, yeah, I mean, it's really hard for her to bounce back and forth, and I really just wish she'd choose one, you know? I mean, it's not – she's just hurting herself. So, well, I guess we'll see. Nonetheless, we do have a couple more quick topics to go ahead and hit before we bounce out of here. Sean Strickland did an interview with Theo Vaughn this week, or I guess it was last week, but came out this week. In the interview, Sean Strickland broke down crying. He explained also as well that Dricus, you know, their fight last month was, you know, it happened because of the comments made about his dad and the abuse that he suffered at the hands of his dad. And he said that was off limits, and there are certain things that should be off limits in trash talk, which quickly earned a response from Ian Gary, who ripped him apart, as well as a couple of other fighters as well. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but a couple of other people ripped him apart too, because it's a pretty wild thing for Sean Strickland to say. But what do you think about that whole situation, man?
I mean, about the interview itself. I mean, look, I mean, he, you know, it's obviously you got to feel for him, right? Because I'm talking specifically about the interview, right? Because he those memories popped up. That stuff is terrible. No one ever wants to go through what he went through. Without a doubt. Sad stuff. Sad that I'm sure it was terrible, kind of reliving that in the moment, especially because it happened so young in his life too. And as far as like kind of like the whole, I mean, look. Things have been said. No one's perfect. Look, at the end of the day, and we've said this in the past, Josh, about other stuff. Two wrongs don't make a right. So at the end of the day, that's another thing, right? Mm-hmm. And look, man, if you are going to put yourself in those positions, just be prepared to get, for people to retaliate, and people respond. And sometimes it might be 10 times worse than what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not gonna be the guy to say that Sean Strickland can't feel the emotions that he is feeling about the abuse that he suffered. I mean, that's his cross to bear, and I'm not gonna make fun of that or poke light at that. I will say, Ian Gary and a couple other people are right. I mean, that's insanely hypocritical coming from Sean Strickland. I mean, he said, "Don't talk about people's wives. Don't talk about." And it's like, dude, he had that same press conference where he was talking shit to Dreekis. He was talking shit to Sean O'Malley about his wife. It's like, it's just like, what are we doing here, guys? But, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna poke fun at it. I know that some people are like, oh, he's a crybaby, but like, it's very clear that Sean Strickland has some sort of massive mental illness. Like, I mean, I hate to be the guy, but like, I get it. And in that situation that he grew up in, if he didn't have it, he totally got some fucking CPTSD from that, So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I think Ian Gary and a lot of others are correct. I mean, that is Sean Strickland throwing stones from a glass house a lot of the time, but, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if this affects him going into his fight against Dreekis. And people are saying, like, oh, Dreekis is already in his head. I don't know about that. That seems like a bit far, but...
I mean, who knows? I mean, we don't know that for a fact, right? We can't make that assumption. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And look, no matter what, it's not, you don't want to, obviously I'm not going to say it was good that the fight has become, I feel, more real now than ever. You know what I mean? There's, I feel like there's times where these guys, they're fighting for sport, but then there's these guys who are fighting with genuine animosity. And I think these guys are going to have that going into this fight, which I think is, I look, for our entertainment value, good. Right? And also, who knows how it is afterwards? Who knows? Maybe these guys earn a bigger amount of respect. Maybe they can come at it on the other side. Maybe they can talk about it. Maybe they can relate in some capacities about other things. Who knows, right? I'm not gonna. I couldn't tell you, but we'll find out whenever the fight happens here in a week or 2 weeks. What is it? Yeah, it'd be 2 weeks. My bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Very excited to see it though, man. Very, very excited to see it. Anyways, I mean, if we're gonna go ahead and move on from that, this is the last topic of the day. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder officially off. I mean, we figured that was that was the case. We never got a confirmation. I know AJ and Wilder both said they wanted to do it still, but according to Eddie Hearn, Saudi Arabia, they don't have as much interest in booking that fight. However, AJ's still going to fight in March. He's been linked to 3 opponents: Filip Rogovic, for one, Zhilei Zhang, and then also our boy, you mentioned him earlier, Francis Ngannou, big Fran, apparently in the running, man.
Ooh.
What's your interest level in seeing a potential Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou fight, or would you rather see him fight, Zhang or whoever it may be?
We're guys that come from the MMA world, dude. Of course we're going to want to see Francis fight Joshua, right? I'm just going to be biased.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'll keep it real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. That's the fight I want to see. I mean, personally, I don't know. I think that's that's a way tougher fight than Fury for our boy Francis, but yeah, I mean, it's still going to be a very exciting fight. Really, really looking forward to seeing it. Man.
By the way, that could sound like a crazy statement though, because I mean, look, who's the champ? And Joshua isn't the champ.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, stylistically.
No, and you're not wrong, but I'm just saying, yeah. Right? If we're basing it off that.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, excited to see it though, man. Excited to see it. I really do think that's going to be, man. I mean, if he can beat Josh, if he can beat any of these guys, I'd be fucking.
It's so validating, right?
Yeah, and he's really, I mean, I don't say most, but a lot of people thought he beat Fury anyway, so.
He already gained a lot of respect, man. I mean, Joshua, of course, wants to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, right? I mean, he's not going to fight these no-names, you know. I was kidding.
But yeah, man, I'll totally watch that. I'll 100% watch that fight. Of the options, hell yeah, brother. Second place, Zhang. I mean, I know that Filip Hrgović is apparently the guy that they're most likely going to go for because that's probably going to be an IBF title fight, but still.
But China did.
I know, man. I would love to see Zhang. Big Zhang, man. And they got the history from the Olympics. Let's fucking go, man. You know? So, yeah. That's all I got, though, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we go ahead and close out of here?
Nothing specifically, man. I'm just so fucking excited that next week we go back to regular schedule, man. Previewing fights, talking about fights. And obviously when we come back the following week, we can do a post show. And on top of that, Josh, we'll be coming back to a fucking pay-per-view and we'll get to see each other again so fucking quick. Mm-hmm. So obviously I'm very excited about that. Obviously excited to start off the year. Get the channel going, keep blowing it up, making it better, making progress, getting more viewers, building a community. I'm just excited for 2024, man. Every year this podcast just gets more and more exciting for me personally. And obviously the growth of the channel obviously keeps me going and going and going. And especially this previous year where we really saw some major progress. It's obviously got me excited for our 2024 season, man. This is my Jordan year, bro. This is our Jordan year. This is 23, Josh. Like, I'm hyped up, man.
I'm hyped, man. I mean, I got some big ambitions for this year for the pod. I know you do as well. We're gonna fucking crush it, man. And thank you so much to everybody. I'm gonna do a whole video maybe this week. I'm hoping to, where I kind of discuss our hopeful plans for 2024 and kind of like a recap of 2023. Because yeah, I just feel like I got to do that, man, because we got so much fucking.
All I got to say though, Josh, this is a strong start to 2024, dude. I mean that Pat Miletich line set the tone for the year. Let me tell you.
Oh God, I know, man. Shit, dude, they should book Pat Miletich versus Mike Jackson too, the rematch, Anyways, man. That's all I got, man. Hope you guys enjoy the show. I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter. He's at Angel Ortega _01 at Courtside Sound for all things relating to the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, peace and butt grease. Mouse click.